first 5 things that you must do is you need to have a DUNS number, which is Dun and Bradstreet. You need to have a physical location, whether it's a house or an office. You need to have a 1-800 number. That 1-800 number needs to be listed with 411.com. You need to have a website, and you need to have an email address that is a .com of your company. So like mine would be rondilambert.com or fortresscredit.com and Rondi at fortresscreditpro.com and Rondi at fortress, whatever, right? So the email is not a Gmail account, AOL. If you don't do those 5 basic things, what's going to happen? I think I actually said 6 because I tied one in there together with the 1-800 and 411. But if you don't have those 5 fundamental foundation items, the bank is going to decline you. A few days ago, actually, it was last night. So last night I was talking to a gentleman that does a couple $1 million a year in business, and he was really pissed off because he's like, I can't believe it, Rondi. They denied me this credit card. And so I looked at his application and I said, it's because you didn't put the period behind the Inc. So his company was, AMC, INC period, Inc. as in incorporated. He didn't have the period. And these banks are this picky to where if on the Secretary of State's website, it's, Fortress Inc. with a period behind the C, and you fill out the application as Fortress INC, no period, they will literally deny you. Or if you put a Gmail account down, or if you put your cell phone number down, they're going to deny you business credit because there's so much fraud that their first reaction is declined. And if you make it through that, then they will actually look at the application. So it's really important that you get those 5 fundamentals done first. All right, it depends on a lot of different factors. I've had clients that have hired me to teach them how to build business credit and never once logged into the portal to actually start doing the education. So how long it takes to build the business credit really depends on you and how fast you want to start working on it. So if you have a business and you never get an EIN number, you never get a DUNS number, you never apply for credit, you're never going to have business credit. It's not anything like personal credit that just starts happening on its own when you get your first credit card. See, with personal credit, there are banks out there that will loan you money via credit card and immediately start reporting it. But with business credit, it's not like that. They don't have to report. There's no laws regulating them. And so it's a lot more difficult, and you have to do it in a particular order. So the answer to the question is it really depends. Now, in my course, literally, if you already have a business set up today, you would immediately start applying for business credit, day one. But if you haven't set up the business yet, or if you do have a business set up, but you haven't set up the proper foundation, it could be 3-4 days inside of our system before you start applying for credit because you need to have some things in order. You got to have a foundation built. But generally speaking, you can start applying for business credit the moment you have those 5 foundational things set in place. Then you can start applying for business credit and actually start building that business credit profile. So it's kind of like that old saying, when should you plant a tree? 20 years ago. What's the second best time to start planting a tree? Today. So the best time to start building business credit is today. With my business credit program, you actually work directly with me, which is why if you call into my office, they're going to say, I'm sorry, I don't really know anything about it because my staff specializes, my current staff specializes in credit repair and personal finances. So on business credit, if you buy the $2,500, the $5,000 or $7,500 package, you actually work with me. Now on the $2,500 program, you would get a username and password to our portal. You can watch my videos. You can learn how the process works. And it's kind of like go at your own pace. You do have a consult with me. You do actually have my cell phone number. You can call me and text me anytime you want and get in touch with me. On the $5,000 and the $7,500, we actually spend time together where I invite you to come hang out with me for 3 days in Las Vegas, and I go over things that I just can't do via video, that I won't let you record due to I don't want to get sued by certain people. And because there's some things in there that I'm going to share with you that the government, and specifically the government, the IRS, and the states don't want you to know. And the credit card companies don't want you to know these little hacks on ways that you can legally pay little to no income tax or fly around the world first class, stay in 5-star resorts, drive beautiful cars, and not pay a dime for it by using your business credit and your points. And I will not share that via video because I don't want people, one, sharing that with their friends, and two, I don't want to be sued by the states or have the IRS come after me because I'm sharing some things that they simply don't want you to know. So it was a great question. And yes, you will work directly with me when you get started with the business credit. Having a virtual address is okay. It's actually better if you use your home address. Where you get in trouble with a home address is if you say it's a Class A multi-story building, on whatever, Easy Street, and you lie because there's this thing called Google. It's really simple. You put in the address, Google Maps, and you can see that it's actually a house. So I recommend that you only use a virtual address if your business is actually established. If it's a brand new business, then stick with your home address. There's nothing wrong with it. The banks, with today's technology and the way things work with all of these companies, of course, everybody knows Microsoft started in a garage, Amazon started in a garage, Apple started in a garage. So all these multi-billion-dollar companies started in garages, and there's lots of companies that start in homes. So it's okay. And in fact, the IRS used to have a rule that in order to deduct your home business office expense, you had to have a locked, dedicated room for just your office. And under the new tax code, they say you just have to have an area in your house. It doesn't have to be a separate, exclusive room. It literally can be your kitchen table, but it has to be, drawn out that that's your office. So the IRS acknowledges and what's the word I'm looking for? Identifies, and that's not the right word, but whatever it is, the IRS actually recognizes, that's the word I was looking for. The IRS recognizes your living room as an office expense, and so do banks. They're okay with that as long as everything else, those 5 other foundational items, are completed and you don't lie to the bank. You're upfront and honest with them, then you'll be okay with a home address. There's no reason to spend money on a virtual office. That's a really good question, and I get it a lot. And I kind of look at it this way. Everybody wants something for free, and they see this business credit thing as this unicorn. And I think it's because there are guys out there on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube that hang out with Ty Lopez, and they make you think that you can get business credit and then you can open an Amazon shopping cart, a Shopify account, whatever, and you can start bringing all these streams of income. And it doesn't really work that way. In fact, I talked to a client the other day, and she wanted business credit so she could just go out and get business credit to go buy real estate and buy apartment complexes. And it doesn't work like that. Can you get business credit to generate streams of income? Yes. With that being said, it's like any other business. You have to have a stable business that creates stuff. Now, I personally do not recommend that you purchase my business credit program or that you purchase anybody's business credit or you even attempt to build business credit with the sole intention of getting a bunch of credit cards to go try a business, okay? You need to have the business functioning first. Then when the business is functioning, everything is working and there's actually money coming in, then go get the business credit so you can expand that business versus getting the money It's kind of like the student loan debacle, right? That horrible student loan lie. Go to college, get good grades, and you'll get a good job. Nobody freaking cares about your degree. I'll tell you right now, I don't even look at resumes when people apply for me. I don't give a shit if you went to college or not. It doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is actually if you graduated high school, because that tells me a lot about you. I don't care about college. And most of my friends that employ people, they don't care about degrees. So there's that lie that if you go to college and you go $100,000 in debt, you can get a good job. And I think there's that lie being spread now about business credit that you can get it and now you got all this money and you can go start the business. But I'm going to tell you this. Start the business first, then get the money. You know, a business line of credit is really valuable and it can be used as a really powerful tool. A loan is also very powerful. So it really depends on what it is that you're trying to do. If I had a choice, what I would do if I was you is I would have a loan that had a fixed rate, fixed terms, amortized over 10, 20 years, whatever. And then I'd have a line of credit because you can use the line of credit during your day-to-day operations and literally wipe out 70% of the interest on that loan. In fact, I have an entire course that goes over this. You can take a 30-year mortgage and literally pay it off in 10 years with no extra payments and without changing your lifestyle. You can take a 20-year student loan and have it paid off in 7 years. You can take a 5-year business loan for your business and have that paid off with 2 to 3 years because you're eliminating 70% of the interest with the line of credit. So I know you want to know business credit or loan. I would say both. Get both. Repairing business credit is completely different than personal credit. And the main reason is because personal credit, you have the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the Fair and Accurate Credit Transaction Act. You have so many different laws that protect us from the banks. With business credit, you don't have that. It's the Wild West. Banks are not regulated. There is no federal law protecting business owners from inaccurate credit reporting. Can you fix business credit? Absolutely. But there is no specific way, no law that says they have to do this, this, and this, and this. And we do it. We do it for our clients. It's very expensive, but we do it. With that being said, the advantage of business credit is, let's say you do default. It only stays on there for 3 years, a maximum of 3 years. So unlike personal credit could be on your credit for 7 to 10 years, business credit, you're stuck with 3. A lot of times with business credit, you can simply just call up and say, hey, I know I paid you late. I caught you up. Can you do me a solid and have it removed? And because there's no laws regulating them on the reporting, there's no laws regulating them on the deletions. And so the bank can actually go in, hit the delete button, and it takes it right off your credit report. And this is generally how we fix it, is we just make phone calls and we do a little bit of bribery with the banks, legal bribery, to get rid of those late payments. So it can be done. It's just a little bit different than personal credit.